Welcome again to the Old Principal. I am the Old Principal, and we have another interesting story. Today's story is my story, so let's see if you can understand what I was thinking and what I was experiencing. This is lesson number 199. By the way, this is not me, although I did have blonde hair at one time. When I had hair, my hair is missing now, okay? At least some of it. 199, mortified. Do you know what mortified means? Okay, mortification, mort has to do with death. I feel like I would die. I felt 非常不好意思，不但是尴尬，不但是下不了台。I felt like I would die. I was mortified. What would cause me to be mortified? Listen to the story, and then we'll come back and explain it.
Story 199, Mortification. One day, my brother Buzz and I got into an argument. But before we came to blows, I thought I would use a superior method to win. I had learned by experience that fighting with him was useless because he always won. I suggested that we ought to race down to the end of 36th Street and that this would be our method of determining the winner of the argument. He agreed. My line of reasoning, which I didn't disclose to my brother, went something like this. I remember watching on TV how the best runners always laid off the pace just a little bit at the beginning, and then down toward the end they would pass up the leaders, who, because they had started too quickly, were now struggling to maintain the pace. I figured that I would use my superior knowledge as the older brother of the family to win the race and, of course, the argument. I called my cousins from across the street, Judy and Karen, to come out and watch the great race. So we towed the starting line, got set, and bang! I kept telling myself, "Do it like the professionals, John." So I let my brother get a little bit farther ahead. I was conserving my energy. After 1,000 meters, I decided that it was time to make my move. I sped up and began to overtake Buzz. Just then my brother turned around and looked. Ooh, he saw that I was gaining ground. The faster I went, the faster he went, and he made it look so effortless, too. Even before the finish line, I stopped and pretended I had a side ache. But the real pain was my damaged pride. I not only lost the race, and therefore the argument, but my cousins observed the whole affair. By the way, that was the last race that I ever had with my brother. I had learned my lesson.
Welcome back. Well, let's go into the story. One day my brother and I got into an argument. Now, we were about the same age, only 15 months apart, and usually we got along pretty well with each other, but sometimes we did not get along together. And this was one of those days where we did not get along with each other. We had an argument going on. Before we came to blows, I thought that I would use a superior method to win. Before we came to blows. This is a way of saying a blow. If you got hit in the face, okay, blow, that's a blow, okay. So to come to blows simply means before we started to 打架, okay? So before we came to blows, I decided, or at least I thought, that I would use a superior method to win. 我用一个更加好的方法得胜 or 胜利 or 胜过他. So, how am I going to win the argument? By a superior 更好的一个方法. Go ahead. I had learned by experience that fighting with him was useless because he always won. Oops. Okay, I had learned. This is the one thing I had learned by experience. 经过我的经验, okay, that fighting with him, fighting with my brother was useless. 跟我的弟弟, 他是我的弟弟, 跟我弟弟打架没用. Why? 为什么是没用? Because he always won. He always won. And he was younger than me, but he always won. So he was apparently stronger than me, or braver than me, or whatever it is, but he always won when we fought together. So I decided I couldn't fight with him. Going on, I suggested that we ought to race down to the end of 36th Street, and that this would be our method of determining the winner of the argument. As I look at this now, I say, wow, this is very strange. Let's look at it again. I suggested that we ought to race down to the end of 36th Street. Now, we lived at the end of the street of 36th Street. 36号街的一边呢, actually, you could say 头啊. And so I said, if we run down to the other end of the street, long ways away, okay? And if we run down there, this would be the method. 我们是用这个方法, what? To determine the winner of the argument. To determine, 决定, determine, okay, the winner of the argument. 争论的这个胜利者, okay? Interestingly enough, he agreed. Wow. So, great. It's a great idea. It was a great day. It was a beautiful day. As I recall, the sun was shining. It wasn't too hot, and it wasn't too cold. Okay? My line of reasoning, which I didn't disclose to my brother, went something like this. My line of reasoning, which I didn't disclose means I didn't tell my brother, went something like this. 就是这样，我的思想就是这样的. Went something like this. My line of reason, 我自己的思想. Okay, going on. I remember watching on TV how the best runners always laid off the pace just a little bit at the beginning. So I remember watching on TV when people were running, okay, and they're running, okay. So what are they doing? They are running and then some of them go a little bit slower. Just a little bit. Not very much, but as they're running, they are, what we say, conserving energy. They're not going too far behind, but just a little bit. Okay, so let's take a look at the words again. I remember watching on TV, 看电视, how the best runners, 最好的赛跑家, always laid off the pace. Pace is 速度, 速度, okay, or 跑的速度, okay, and laid off the pace. Laid off the pace means to be a little bit slower than 人家的速度, okay, just a little bit at the beginning. So you laid off the pace just a little bit at the beginning. Going on. And down toward the end, they would pass up, this is the good runners, would pass up the leaders who, because they had started too quickly, were now struggling to maintain the pace. Here's this word again, pace, pace, pace. The speed that people are running. Okay, let's go back there. I want to go through this one more time. And then down toward the end, that means down toward the end of the race, they would pass the leaders. Okay, the people who were leading, 那这个领先的. So these people that had gone a little bit slower passed the leaders. Why? Because the leaders had started out too, what can we say, quickly, and they were not conserving their energy, and so they could not maintain the pace. They started too quickly. Now they were struggling. Struggling means, of course, sometimes struggle, 挣扎, but in this case, struggling meaning having difficulty, 很难维持这个速度. They were having difficulty maintaining or to maintain the pace, the speed of the race. Going on, I figured that I would use my superior knowledge as the older brother of the family to win the race and, of course, the argument. So, this is the kind of my reasoning. I figured that I would use my superior knowledge. Well, I mean, hey, I was a year ahead of my brother. 我高一班呢，我上学的时候比他高一班, so I just use my brains. I will win the argument, right? Well, let's see. I figured I would use my superior 更加好的知识 as the older brother of the family, and我是老大, okay, 我们家的老大, to win the race, okay, 这个 to win the race 这跑的就胜利, and of course, 当然, because this was the deal we made, if you win the race, you win the argument. By that time, we probably forgot what we were arguing about. But whatever the case is, this is the way I was thinking. Going on, I called my cousins from across the street. Across the street from our house, my aunt and uncle lived, and they had 3 children, just like in our family we had 3 children. So I called my cousins from across the street, Judy and Karen, to come out and watch the great race. Now, they were ladies. Judy and Karen are my Karen is 表姐 and Judy 表妹. Okay? So they're about the same age as we are. I called my cousins from across the street, 因为他们住在我们家的对面. Okay? Across the street, 过那条街的这个对面. To come and watch the great race, 大的赛跑 or 比赛. Going on. So we towed the starting line and got set and bang, we start going. Okay, now, here are a few words. Okay. I remember years ago hearing you say, 各就各位, 预备, 跑. Okay? Okay. Okay. So here is the process. That's the Chinese. In the English, it says, we say, on your marks, get set, go. Okay? So we towed. You know what a tow is? 脚趾头, towed. So that means that we were standing at the starting line. 这个起跑线. So we were standing at the starting line. So what does it say? On your marks, get set, we were ready, and then go. And that's bang. Usually they have what? They usually have a gun, right? Some kind of a gun that makes a loud noise and boom, bang, and then we're off and running. Going ahead. I kept telling myself, was 跟自己说了, do it like the professionals. 你要专业, 要像那个专业赛跑家, 选手等等. Do it like these professional athletes, 选手. Do it like the professionals, John. So I let my brother get a little bit farther ahead. So I let my brother run a little bit faster, but never too fast. I was always a little bit behind him. Maybe I went a little bit too far behind. But anyway, I wasn't too far away, but maybe a little too. Okay, going on. I was conserving my energy. What does it mean to conserve? 保留我的体力. Okay, 保留. I wanted to keep a little of my energy. 这个体力, 精神, 精力. Okay. After 1,000 meters, so we ran 1,000 meters. 已经跑了1000公尺. I decided it was time to make my move. Now that's good Chinese. Okay. I decided that it was time to make my move. Now, what does it mean to make one's move? It means to begin doing what you had planned on doing. I was laying off the pace. Remember those words we already studied. And now I was going to make my way move. That means I was going to start to do what I had planned. That is to run a little bit faster, right? Okay, I sped up. Okay, to speed up, past tense, I sped up, okay? I sped up and began to overtake Buzz. Began to overtake 赶上我的弟弟，他名叫 Buzz 啊。So I began to overtake Buzz. Going on. Just then, my brother turned around and looked. Uh-oh, 刚好他转头看我了啊。And he saw. What did he see? Going on. He saw that I was gaining ground. I was gaining ground. That means that I was getting closer to him. The distance between us was getting less and less. That is, I was gaining ground. So I was getting closer to him. Going on. The faster I went, the faster he went, and he made it look so effortless too. Huh. And this is the problem. The faster I went, the faster he went. That means that if I was going to go faster, he was going to go faster too. And so he did. And the problem was, he made it look so effortless. 看起来好像他一点都不累. Okay? In fact, I remember once when my parents saying that they loved to watch him run because he was so effortless. He made it look so simple. The faster I went, the faster he went. He made it look so effortless. 好像他出力就不很多了. Going on. Even before the finish line, I stopped and pretended that I had a side ache. Even before the finish line, 还没有到那个终点线, I stopped and I pretended, 假装我有一个 side ache. Now take a look at this word. Do you know what a side ache is? Okay, a side ache is when usually it's when you are running very fast. And as you run so fast, I think the problem is you lack oxygen, 你缺氧气. And for a brief amount of time, 就这个在你的肋骨很痛. This is called a side ache. We have all experienced it. I'm sure that we've all experienced a side ache. Go ahead. But the real pain was my damaged pride. Okay, my damaged pride. 这个我的骄傲，这是受害，这个害了我的骄傲，害了我my 自我. Maybe that would be better. 就是害了我的自我, my self-esteem. It was, I not only lost the race and therefore the argument, but my cousins observed the whole affair. Isn't that something? I not only lost the race, but my cousins observed the whole affair. 我不单是输给他, 不单是 not only lost the race, 输给他, but and therefore the argument, of course, what was the deal? the deal was that that who wins the race wins the argument. He won the race, he won the argument. Okay? But my cousins, and this is the mortification, this was the embarrassment. 非常下不了台. I felt like I was going to die. No, I wasn't sick, so I was going to die. I just felt so bad. This is the mortification. I felt very embarrassed and very bad going on because they observed the whole thing. By the way, that was the last race I ever had with my brother. I had learned my lesson. Now, I'd learned a few other lessons. Remember at the beginning of the lesson, I said I learned not to fight with him because fighting with my brother, I always lost. Now, I learned another lesson. I learned that I better not race with my brother. 不要跟你的弟弟赛跑, because he is a better runner. I had learned my lesson. 我已经学到一个教训. I had learned my lesson. Well, I imagine that you've had some interesting experiences too. This is the way I went through my life. Maybe you would like to write and tell me some interesting experience that you had. We have an email address, the old principal, 老校长, the old principal at gmail.com. 我们的网站是 www.theoldprincipal.org. Hey, it's been great being with you. Had a great time. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned a few English words. And I hope that you will join us again next time. Until then, bye-bye.